We'll pass by Vietnam on the way to Hamburg, Germany, where we'll meet Huyen Tran.
Coronavirus has not been easy for any of us at all, and that is why the citizens of Seoul are here to maybe help brighten up your day a little bit. So I am living now in Hamburg, Germany. The thing that I like the most about Germany is my husband. He is a German and we accidentally met. And somehow this is going to be my second home from now. I was born in Vietnam, by the way. The people in Germany are somehow cold and quite hard to approach, I must say. But if you manage to get into their friend circle, they are friends for life. Oh, there is actually another aspect of culture that I really like here in Germany. That is called FKK, the Freikörperkultur, so free body culture. So there are places in Germany, either free or you have to pay a fee to get in. You can go for a swim naked, without any clothes. And I am a big fan of that. It is not something sexual at all. It is absolutely just a feeling that you get immersed in the nature without any weird fabric between you, your body, and the water. It just feels really, really free. Maybe you should try once if you have a chance. The craziest thing I have ever done. I think it is the first time and still so far the only time that I did hitchhiking alone in Europe. I was in Slovakia visiting a national park there, and somehow I got lost in the jungle because I didn't have any map. Well, I did have a map, but I didn't know how to read it. And still, I got into the jungle, and thanks to a man, I could get out. But when I was out of the national park, I realized that my last bus was already gone. So I decided to walk back into the center and to the house of my couch surfing host. And on the way, I just decided to raise my thumb to maybe catch a car and can save my time back home. And surprisingly, it worked. A man just stopped his car, cleaned out his passenger seat for me, and let me in. He didn't speak any English at all, and I obviously didn't speak any Slovak. So I just gave him the address of my couch surfing host and really hoped that he could get me to this address safely. Somehow I had some kind of safe feeling with him. I don't know. I do believe in a sixth sense, so if you feel like it is not safe enough to get into the car of a stranger, then just don't do it. But in this case, I felt really safe, and the reality has proven that I was correct. We were on the car, didn't speak any words with each other at all, and he just drove me to the address, dropped me off, and then leave. I tried to give him a Snicker as a thank you because I didn't have anything at that time except for a Snicker. And still he tried to refuse. Such a nice man. To anyone who intends to travel in Europe, obviously after this COVID, then I really, really recommend you to travel alone. It is going to broaden your horizon and it allows you to try so many new things by yourself. There is this song that is called One Day Reckoning Song from Asap Avidan. And every time I listen to it, I remember about that time in Vietnam when I was kind of in a relationship with a guy. It was before when I went to Europe for studying, and I and that guy, we were friends for a long time. We lost contact, but then we were in contact again. And at that time, I didn't want to have any relationship at all, and I have always considered him as a friend. But somehow we got tangled in this kind of love, sex, I don't know, friends with benefits relationship. And he was really caring to me. He made a lot of fried rice in his own way, which is so delicious, and I don't know what he put in there, it's just so tasty. And even baked a red velvet cake for me, my favorite cake. And this song, we listened to it when we were smoking some cigarettes, laying in his apartment. And at this time it is like a new beginning for me when I decided to go to Europe to study, and it was also a new beginning for him career-wise. And even when that little amount of time was just like a stop in our continuing life, it brings me a lot of peace when I listen to this song again. Let's talk about why and when I last cried by myself. It was yesterday, and it was when I watched the last season and episode of The Big Bang. I know that series ended in 2019 already, but I just finished it yesterday. Like, it's a long marathon. And it is so far my most favorite sitcom show. It is so full of emotion. It can describe so many aspects of friendships, that being friends doesn't mean that you always love each other, and being friends doesn't mean that you don't fight with each other. It is just how you come back to being friends again. It's about changes. It's about accepting changes. I just love that series a lot. And when they sit together, it's the last scene, when they sit together in that living room. Oh my god, I'm crying again. It is like a really opening end. And when I see them sitting together in that living room, in that small apartment of Sheldon and Leonard, smiling, all of them have changes on their faces, on their physique, like the future is waiting ahead of them, and also waiting ahead of the audience that is watching this show. And the last time that I cried in front of another person is in front of my husband. It was in the middle of the night, and I dreamt that we died in a bomb, like a terrorist bomb in a metro station, but we were separated. And then somehow I can see myself in the next life, but without him. I tried to look for him so much and I cannot find him, and it left me with this frustrating emotion and empty heart, and I don't know what to do next with my life without him. Then I just woke up. Luckily I woke up and I cry, and he's there with me and helped me to come back to my sleep. It makes me realize that sometimes we just take people for granted, the beloved one in our life, and only when we think about it that one day they might be gone, or worse, only when they are gone already, we realize that we didn't spend enough time with them. Wow, I am in a relationship now. It's kind of weird to say that because we are married already. And he's German, I'm Vietnamese, so there are many differences that we learn about each other every day. It's both from cultural aspect and from family background aspect. The good thing is we are open to new things. We are open to listening to the perspective from another person. So most of the time we come to agreement, even when we don't fully understand the perspective of another person, but we respect the difference. Sometimes it feels like we are puzzle pieces which fit quite well together. He cannot cook really well, I can cook. He is a really patient person, I'm not. He likes to read news a lot, and I don't. So he usually does like briefing about news to me, which I really appreciate. There are many aspects of relationships that we get to experience when we were just boyfriend and girlfriend that are different now as a married couple. We are the people who do not really think that marriage is very essential in keeping a relationship running. But we have to admit that after marriage, it just feels different. It feels like you have more responsibility with another person. responsibility with this together life. And therefore, you have more motivation to try more, to try harder, to improve this life that you both are contributing to. Love means a lot of things. But first and foremost, I think love means compromising with your partners. We are all very different creatures from different backgrounds and cultures. There are habits that we have that are intolerable, and it's the same thing from our partners. So in order to maintain a long-term relationship, I think compromise is really important. Love also means not to judge each other and to be weird with each other. What is the point of loving when you have to pretend to be another person when you are with that person? Just let it all out, the weird sides in you. And maybe the other person is weird too. I think I connect best with people through food or through the common things that we have. Food is like the passion of my life, and I think if someone doesn't really like food that much, I cannot be friends with them. But it differs a lot, depending on which people that you meet in which phase of your life. For example, I met my best friend in high school, and I met her through the school forum. So we chat a little bit online already, but then when we met, it is just like an instant click. There are things that you cannot explain. There are people that just connect with you like that, without any ways, any words, any kind of acting. And there is the value that I treasure the most from a relationship, either a friendship or business or love. That is honesty. I personally can understand a person better when the person is just direct and straightforward and honest to me, without beating the bush, without reading between the lines. From honesty, we can all grow individually and also grow together. For example, if I don't like that my husband is playing game too much, which he doesn't, then I just talk to him about it, and we will work together to compromise the kind of schedule that is going to be suitable for him and also not going to be annoying to me too much. So instead of just be like, you're not spending time with me, you're playing games all day, it is somehow emotional abuse to your partner, to your friend, and that is quite toxic to any kinds of relationship. Of course, you can choose your words really considerably to make the honesty not too hard to listen to, but the content is really important. Oh, there's so many YouTube channels I like. Oh god, I like Bon Appetit channel a lot, but that is before the scandal of their chief editor, I think. Like before that, and also before Corona, all of their members work in a kind of test kitchen. And what I like the most is every member has their own specialty, has their own characteristic, and when they in that kind of test kitchen, they can just go around and ask people for advices, or maybe just have fun. And the way that their characteristic and charisma is really well revealed thanks to the video editor, you can see how people connect with each other. And I think in Corona, we miss that a lot. However, it is such a pity now that they cannot work in a test kitchen together anymore, and some members got off the boat already. So currently, it is not my most favorite channel anymore. Let's see, what is the one that I like recently? Oh, I like the channel, if I'm not wrong, it is called NHK Japan channel. It is a channel from the Japanese government, and they upload a lot of nice videos about every aspect of culture in Japan, and especially food. So there are many things that you can learn from these videos, and they're just like authentic videos from real people. It is my dream to travel to Japan, but have not been able to do yet. Therefore, watching those videos make me feel like I am traveling a little bit, and also it motivates me to work harder, to earn money, and one day I am going to go to Japan and enjoy nice mochi, nice ramen, nice udon, lovely tempura. Oh my god. Yes. In the past, I used to subscribe to more than 600 channels, but gradually, at some time, naturally in our life, we realize that we don't need to really subscribe to that many channels at all. So now I'm subscribed to around 20 channels. Still, it is quite a lot, but it is better than 600 channels in the past. I didn't have my own room until when I was 16 years old. And in this room, I actually also didn't decorate that much because DIY wasn't a trend at that time. But I remember having a lot of Avril Lavigne posters because I was a huge fan of her. It was at the time when she was the skater boy, skater girl phase at the beginning of her singing career. And she looked so cool, you know, with all of those sneakers and stripes and tomboy clothing. So I copied her a lot. And I tried to be also tomboy and stuff, and got even really excited when someone just mistook me as being a boy. Yeah. Now looking back at those photos, I was like, what did I do? Why was I dressing up like that? I guess that happens to many of us. And the trouble that I got into when I was a teenager was when I was 16 years old. I went to drink some beer mixed up with Red Bull with some of my friends. And I live in a really conservative family, so that is like, it is not acceptable. But when I was home, I was so drunk that I just lie on the bed and try to pretend that I am sick. But obviously the parents, they can smell the alcohol, right? The next morning I woke up and I was so scared that they will scold at me and punish me and stuff like that. But they didn't. They just say, don't do it again next time. And that is even worse than any spanking, any punishment that they did to me before. That kind of lesson stays with me until now, is to not drink mixed alcohol. Yeah, but which I still did. There was this time in Italy when I had a party with my friends in a friend's house. I was never a big drinker, and as any student parties, we drank many types of alcohol. And mixing alcohol together for me is like a death sentence. Not like I'm dead, but I just go, not like I'm dead, but I just went unconscious really fast. So while everyone went out for partying, I stayed at my friend's house on his bed and just slept. At some point in the evening, I woke up, went into the bathroom and vomited. And somehow I fell into the bathtub and couldn't get up. The bathtub is like horizontal and I fell in vertically. So I am literally like curled into the bathtub and couldn't get up. So I just lied there and slept. Luckily, the roommate of my friend was still at home and he got me into the bed again. The next morning, he said that he has to check my breathing to see if I was alive or not. Because I was just like lying there, totally unconscious, knowing nothing about the world. I have no idea how he did it, like getting me into the bed again. Wow. Would I do it again? Probably yes. It was fun. Chinese are not the only Asians in the world. So please don't say ni hao to Asian looking people anymore. Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to make kimchi. I know kimchi is not a Vietnamese dish, it's a Korean dish, but I and my husband, we just love it so much. And now it's winter and you need some vitamin C and some healthy bacteria. So we're doing it today. So in this bowl I have some cabbage, Chinese cabbage, some spring onions, some carrots, some radish, and some roasted sesame. And this is where the magic happens. In this mixture, there is oat rice, there is fish sauce, there is gochugaru, which is the Korean special type of chili flakes. If you don't have it, you can use cayenne pepper, but it's going to taste different. This one is going to taste a little bit fruity and sweet and not too spicy, and cayenne pepper is going to be spicy and earthy. And other ingredients, like you can just go online and search how to make kimchi and you will see a lot of recipes. And now I'm going to put this in here and mix it up. And then after that, I am going to bottle it up, leaving some space for the kimchi to ferment in a warm environment, which is in our living room now. So we're going to put it there for roughly 2-3 days, depending on the temperature. And then after that, we will have kimchi.
Thank you, Huyen Tran, for having the courage to share your story with us. For the latest on Huyen Tran, check out her website linked in the description. If you enjoyed meeting her, like the video and subscribe to meet more people from around the world. If you'd like to share your story with Citizens of Seoul, apply at citizensofseoul.com.